Well, I hope you've enjoyed our introductory session into outlining, which of course today focused on elementary and a few things early intermediate and eventually the Bach inventions. You know, Rosoff used to tell me, because I used to always worry about, are there rules for outlining? And she says the outlining is a creative process. There are no rules. There are basic concepts that you can develop as we go along, the different ways you can outline different textures of music. But the only sin is to stop. What this is developing in students is the ability to go across a musical line and not stop, hopefully. The idea, which I didn't actually discuss earlier, and of course I took tempos that a student probably isn't going to take. You're going to slow this down for them because they're learning to read first. But one of the things you want to teach them is if you miss a note, miss it, but keep on going, much as what we teach in sight reading. The point is, yes, you will go back and correct that after you've done that little run in 4 or 8 measures of the outline you're doing. You can stop and go back and say, now what was that chord that didn't work? Okay, let's practice that, make sure we have it, figure out fingering issues that weren't right. Now go back and try that outline again with those things included. What they get as they go through, they get. What they didn't, as Rosoff used to tell me, too bad, keep going. After that, you go back again and you find what still isn't working. And then you keep layering until finally they come out with a beautiful outline that is musical even if they haven't got everything worked out in the piece yet. And so you're building from a solid foundation. Don't want you to think that you just that you stop to fix the mistakes. What you want to do is do a tempo that they can truly do, help them even if you're up here demonstrating with them, and try to encourage that forward, unending, unbreakable rhythm, which is what we want. We don't want backups. We don't want repeating 3 and 4 times on a note to figure it out. I had a student the other night that had 3 false. By the 3rd false start of the scale, I stopped him. And I said, you obviously are having a problem figuring out what it is. Is it the fingering in the right hand? Is it the fingering in the left hand? We went back over the fingering rules. They thought about it for a second, and then they ripped the scale straight up and down. So sometimes we don't stop them and ask them to think first what the problem is so they don't get into that stumbling, false tries, false starts to get things worked out. Work it out the minute you see that they're having a problem, stop them and figure out what it is. Whether it's an outline, whatever it is. And you can always melt down the outline to its simplest component to match the student you have and the student's ability. If they're capable of more and they can break the hands up and do one solid chord and the second one is broken, great. If they're not at that level and you have to go from just the solid chords to playing it this way because that's what's going to work, then you do that level outline. So you make it meet the student's needs, not turn it the other way around and make the student meet the conformity of the outline you've set up. It's a trial and error process with outlining, but I assure you that with some time, it will liven your practice sessions with your students, give you more to practice, more creative ways to practice in your studio with them, and they will go out better prepared to work on the piece on their own with success. So that's it for today and the introductory session into outlining. We will follow this with future videos that will do more advanced music and more advanced outlines to cover all of the levels up through advanced. So thank you for hearing our lecture today, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.